Hey everybody, welcome back to Nikki and Carly's podcast. I'm Nikki,
I'm Carly.
and we're happy that you're here. So we missed a week because I went to Florida to see Carly, and we just could not pull it together to get on. I mean, all the things, technical, timing, all the things. So we're happy to be back because we have so much to share. I mean, man, a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Probably one of my favorite stories ever happened in the last 2 weeks. Actually, on your way down here.
yeah,
But we'll get to that later.
yeah. So I think since I've gotten back from your house, it's been like go go go. I don't think I've stopped moving until right now. And
Yeah.
you were like, "Do we need to reschedule?" And I'm like, "No. If I reschedule, we won't do it." And we need to do it. So yeah. Thanks for being patient with me and starting late because I had a few things to go. Obviously, I'm still dressed from work, so
Super
but
cute. I love it.
I know it's funny because I don't usually wear cute stuff here. I usually wear sweatshirts.
Stepping up your game.
I mean, I'm just, But today, the wind was so crazy, and my hair was down, and I have a dress on. And I was going to wear a shorter dress, and thank God I wore a longer dress. God bless you.
Sorry.
And so, it's my technical support. She's got a little allergies. Uh, so I'm out, and I had a closing today, and so I'm carrying this big basket, and the wind was so strong. I was fighting against it. Like I didn't know if I was going to knock me down, or what was going to happen. So I'm carrying this basket, and I'm in a long dress. So I don't know if you can see it. So it's a long dress, and the wind was blowing at me. So my hair was this big, just blowing in my face. Couldn't do anything about it. I'm holding the basket, so I don't have any arms. My dress has gone through my legs and is now on me like a spandex. And I can't pull it.
That's better than the alternative, though. I mean,
Yeah.
good thing it didn't go up like this around your face, like up.
Yeah, because it went like spandex. It looked like I was wearing a jumpsuit. Somebody just said to me, they're like, "Oh, is that a jumpsuit?" I'm like, nope, just really tight in the private areas, like going through my legs. So I could not do anything. I get into the place and I'm like, oh, like I can't open a door. Okay, so here's a weird thing. I am super like, I can't do the roundabout doors. I can't do them. They stress me out. They freak me out. And I had to use it today. And the guy was like being really nice and was going to help me push it because my hands were full and I looked like a hot mess. So he's like, this girl needs help. And I was like, okay, you could do it. You could go in there. You could go in there. And it was super weird because my arms were full and I was like, oh, I'm going to get stuck. But I made it, so.
I'm always afraid they're gonna catch me in my ankle or my heels and like
Oh.
rip my shoe off, like take me down, like and then you can just see me like ricocheting on the inside of each glass. Like I'm scared of them too. Like I feel like
this,
Elf.
like all the way around.
Ted. So we that reminds me. One night we went out and it was like I think it was PF Chang's. We went to dinner and they had that rotating door. Well, we go and we're in it, and Ted starts running in this thing, and he's got it going so fast, and I'm scared, so I'm running too, and I'm like terrified this thing's gonna catch me, and he's waving this woman that's outside the door. He's like, "Come on, get in!" Every time we go around, and she's like, "Oh." She got in and ran it with us.
No way.
I couldn't believe it. She was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, no way. I couldn't do it. Like, it makes me sweat just thinking about it. I can't do it.
Well, he had it running. Like, I was terrified.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't get kicked out.
Yeah, I can't do it. There was something, I'm going to think about it. There was something today that came up that I started giggling about, and I wanted to tell you about. Now I can't remember. So I'll remember it before it's over. But
Also, it's funny because on the way home tonight, I'm talking to you on the phone. You're so pissed. You're like, "Yeah, my gift I just gave my client."
yeah,
I hand it over, and the handle breaks off of my basket that
Yeah.
I just bought.
literally bringing the basket in. Like, it was a struggle to get that basket in. And then I get it, and I literally hand it to them, and the handle breaks in half. And not even, like, off the basket. Like, literally where the handle part is, breaks in half. Like, the basket we've just disintegrated. And I was like, I just bought that. Like, I didn't want to say, like, today, but I did.
Hold on, I have the receipt. I have it.
I was like, I didn't want to be like, I just pulled the tag off in the parking lot and stuffed all this stuff in, because...
So she's like, I have to drive all the way back across town to go replace this basket. I'm so mad.
So mad. Because, you know, it's like a big day, and it's like friends of mine, and I wanted to give them a nice basket, and this stupid thing broke. I was like, I'll bring this back to you later. So.
But did the contents fall out? I can't remember.
No. Because it's all packed in. It's like towels. So they're all packed in. So nothing fell out. But
Phew!
Yeah.
Because that would have been bad.
No kidding. No kidding.
Did you paint them a bottle?
Shush. I'm working on it. Now I can't even.
Sorry. My bad.
Way to go. Way to ruin. Yeah, right? Do they listen? Good point. Good point. Yeah, I'm painting them a bottle. That's not finished yet because I've been crazy busy. I had 6 bottles to finish when I got back in town. And then I did a couple before I left to go out of town. So, but yeah.
So why don't we get into, well, you coming into town, but we have a bunch of stories just from that.
Yeah.
So literally like your trip over. I'm kind of nervous though. Like, I hate to get out my favorite story right in the beginning.
I know, because it's so good. It's so good. Well, let's start backwards and work our way back to it.
Okay.
So we'll start. So I go to Carly's house last week, and it was last minute. You know, we wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to go, and then Ted bought me a ticket, so we got it. So we called our aunts and we're like, come in town. We'll celebrate Mom's birthday. You know, we'll have a girls' weekend. It'll be really fun. And then we went down south to a baby shower. So it was just a jam-packed. So anyway, the last day, we were finally able to go, and we met the kids for lunch. So we took them lunch, and there's like a little picnic area outside. And so we're having lunch. Of course, Dane doesn't have anything to do with me because Grandma's there, so he could care less. He's like, peace out.
Like, you were chopped liver.
I didn't even know I was there. Like, totally was like, excuse me, you're blocking my way to Grandma.
Yeah.
So we're having lunch for them, and we used one of their friends' football, and we're playing football in this little dirt area. Dirt is important because, so it was my turn apparently to hike the ball. So I'm down, and now remember, I don't have great ankles yet. We're still building strength in them. And so I bend down, and I'm like, okay, ready, set, hike. And I hike the ball to Dane, and I stay low so that he can throw it over me to Grandma. Well, apparently, I was not supposed to stay. I was supposed to move.
No, you were in his way.
Yeah. So he pushes me with both hands on my butt. Move! And he pushes me. And now I'm sailing through the yard, like running, trying to keep myself up. Carly's hysterically laughing, can't keep it together. So that started the giggles.
Like a downhill thing, too. We're like,
yeah, and I had to go to the airport after.
Downhill.
Yeah, I had to go to the airport after, and I'm like, I'm going to eat dirt, and I'm going to be totally dirty in the airplane. So Carly gets the giggles. So that's what you need to know. That's what started the giggles. And so then we're playing Duck, Duck, Goose, and it's one of those picnic tables that have, like, the metal grade that, like, crisscross. And so, we have to put our heads down. So Dane comes, and he grabs my head, and he pushes my head down, like, almost taking me out. So Carly's already got the giggles. Well, then Carly was the goose, so then she had to do it. So she pushes my head down onto the table like she's going to knock me out. And now we're running around the table, and Carly's laughing so hard, you peed your pants.
I did. I literally
That's what you get for trying to slam my head into the table at the picnic table.
It was so funny, though, because I went around, too, and I did duck. And then I went around, and then I was like, goose. The people next to us were dying laughing because they saw how I pushed your head.
Yeah, and we're trying to, like, hide, it was so dumb. It was so dumb, but we had so much fun. And then I get to the airport, and my pants, I had, like, bell-bottom pants on. They had so many leaves in them.
Leaves?
Like as I'm walking, they're like, I'm like, maybe I should look at that. Oh, here's a question for you. off topic. Do you take your shoes off on the airplane?
Hell no, that's so gross.
Like, I mean, I'm just curious how many people do it. So I'm sitting on the plane, and I'm sitting between two guys, and one guy's on my right, and the other guy, they just weren't talking to me or anything. I mean, obviously we're like this on the plane, and I'm like smelling this weird smell, so I don't even pay attention to it. The plane takes off, and I'm like, hey, can I move over there? She's like, yeah, go ahead. So I go to the aisle, and there's a kid on the window. And I still smell this weird smell, and I'm like, what is that smell? Like, it's kind of like cabbage, but like was weird. I don't know. It was weird. And I look over, and it was an Indian guy, and so he's eating food, like from a Tupperware. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'm smelling his food. And then I'm looking at his food, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense, because that doesn't look like anything what it smells like. And then we're going to land, and I look down, and the dude's putting his shoes on next to me, and that dude's got his shoes off. I'm like, that's what I smelled the whole time, his feet. Like, that is so
That's
gross.
right.
I have my
I
mouth
can see
open and
that.
everything. So gross. I was like, what is happening? But like,
Yeah,
what,
no,
like, do you, like, so I'm just curious if you take your shoes off on a plane or not. I don't. I think it's weird.
I don't. Airplanes just kind of gross me out anyway. Like, I just feel like there's so much, like, funk just rested on stuff that I'm just like, ugh.
You've never
Don't
seen them
touch
go through with a
anything.
wipe and like deodorize or disinfect anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was fun with it. And then we went to the Ocala, the World
Equestrian
Center.
Center.
That was so fun.
Did you say it, or
place.
were you like,
You
as
shut up.
I said it? It looked like you were trying to read my lips and say it.
I was. Well, it's so hard because I'm
Center.
trying to look at you, but then I'm looking at you, so it always looks like I'm looking away all weird, like I'm having a stroke.
Yeah.
But-
We went to the World Equestrian Center and
Yeah.
saw dressage and then jumping.
Yeah, it was really fun. Like,
It was fun.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, how do you get a horse to skip? I can't get my dog to
Right.
stay off the couch or walk in a straight line when we're in the neighborhood. And they have horses skipping and switching feet during the middle. Like, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Forget, I gotta step up my game. But that was fun. And then, oh my gosh, on the way home, so many deer. Because we're driving through Ocala. I mean, there had been 30 deer that night on the highway.
At least. Yeah.
I mean, insane. And they just stand there. Like, they don't care. They're like, what's up? And we saw 6 hogs on the side of the road, too. And those beasts were big. I'm like, that will wreck us if that hog comes out on the road.
Yeah.
But,
And then, but before the horse show, we went to the craft show that morning.
uh-huh.
We did the craft show, which was really fun because we were doing TikToks and like making videos.
I'll have to put the
People are
TikTok on
looking
our
at
page.
us like assholes.
They're the creepiest shit at that place. Like, there were some baby dolls and their eyes were all rolled back and stuff. I mean, they were super creepy. Like, who buys that stuff? Like, it was insane. There was stuff that was
Nicole was
insane.
here. She made me stop on the route to my school route. She made me stop at a house, we had to do a U-turn to go back to do a TikTok.
Because you were crying too much about it. Oh, what am I going to go in their yard? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, they have a giant alligator, pink alligator, with a chain on in their front yard, and they don't expect us to stop? Come on.
I know.
So we did a video out there in front of it. And then I'm like, what's going to happen? Nobody's going to come. And sure enough, the yard guys come and pull up and almost block us in. It was
I
crazy.
know. I'm pretty disappointed that we went before them because they cleaned it up so nice. Like, you could really see it once they left. I was like, damn it. We could have had a weed-eated alligator 5 minutes later.
It kind of looked better all in the brush. Looked like more natural.
Yeah.
Wait till you see this thing.
Well,
It is nothing natural about it.
it's funny because down the street, there is a fake alligator that looks like a real alligator, and that people placed it in the lake.
I saw
So
it.
it literally looks like a real alligator. Well, it got Mom, it got me, it got
It
you.
got me. I was like, Mom, an alligator. And she's like, no, it's fake. It already got me. I was like, oh.
We all
okay.
did U-turns too.
Stupid alligator.
Yeah.
But, so I'm trying to think what else. But we just had a great time with our aunts and just making fun of each other and stuff all week.
Yeah, we got to do a painting with a twist where we all painted.
Yeah, and it was so
Which-
dumb because, I mean, we know better. I mean, we're artists. We know better. And what do we let them pick? We let them pick the hardest thing to paint. It doesn't look
Yeah, well,
hard.
we thought it was gonna be like easy, no big deal, couple brush strokes, like no problem.
Yeah, but it's
No,
not
that was
because
like
it's
the hardest thing ever. That lamb.
yeah. Well, it's funny because baby animals, their eyes are so far apart, and they don't have any like depth in here. So you have to try to create the depth in their face, without without making them look like they're wearing an opera mask. Because
Or without making it look like a sheep, like mine. Mine was not a lamb. It was the mummy of the lamb. Probably the daddy of the lamb.
it does have a little bit of an aggression look to it.
It's very big and old looking. So yes, I made a sheep, which that was fun. That was a good time. And then we also did painting of my wall where we
Yeah, we
added a
finished the
fish
mural.
to it.
Yeah, we
And then
finished
we
the mural.
did the seahorse on my outside refrigerator, which
Yeah,
turned out
so here's a
amazing.
problem that you can't ever do is let your friends or family know like what your capabilities are. Because I made a comment to Carly. She had that her outdoor refrigerator had rust on it, which in Florida that's really normal with the humidity and stuff. It's just you can't everything rust or it
Well,
has
it's our
mold.
pool fridge,
Yeah,
and I made the mistake of getting a metal one and not the plastic front.
yeah. So Carly's like, I said, why don't we just paint that? Like, why don't I? Because she has pelicans on the wall that I love, and I was like, why don't I just paint one of those pelicans on the wall, on the fridge, and then it'll just make sense. And so she's like, I got all the stuff. So she goes and gets it, and she puts all the rust stuff on, sands it down. We get it painted, and she says, I was really thinking about it, and I really want to do the seahorse instead of the pelican. Now, mind you, the pelican would have taken me an hour to paint. Like, it would have been literally an hour. We'd have been done, moved on. We'd been painting all day. I was super sunburnt. She's like, no, we want to paint the most intricate seahorse possible, and I want to make it 5 feet tall.
It turned out amazing though.
It did. It did. But that might be why we didn't do the podcast last week because we were painting the seahorse.
We were. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it turned out amazing. We'll post pictures on the page so you can see them. But okay, so let's get to it because I can't wait any longer. I'm holding my straws. Okay, so I get to the airport and my flight was supposed to leave at 10. And it doesn't leave until 3:30. I think it ended up leaving. So it kept getting postponed, delayed. And so I'm just sitting at the airport, and my husband's like, he's like, you're so calm about it. And I'm like, I haven't sat still and did nothing I can't remember last time I just sat and didn't do anything. Oh, probably when I had my surgery. So I'm like, I'm fine with just sitting in the airport and people watching. Like, that's the best place to people watch ever.
Yeah.
So, and I brought my stuff to work. I had plenty of stuff I could work on to keep me busy for hours. So I was like, I'll be fine. I'll just go eat lunch, work on my stuff. So I'm just sitting in the airport, and this blind guy comes by, which is, you don't really see blind guys very often, and he's got his
Right.
stick and he's like going around, and I'm thinking, so I'm just staring at this dude, and I'm like, he's so brave. I don't know that I'm that brave, but I guess if you're blind, that's your option, right? You don't have a choice. You have to.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, I'm just in awe of this guy, how brave he is to go to the airport by himself and try to navigate. I mean, there's people running from gate to gate because their gates are changing. And I'm like, what would you do? Like, if you're blind, I can barely find my gate seeing, and be at the right gate. So I was thinking all these things as I'm watching him. Well, I'm sitting there for hours. And the guy's just walking up and down the airport. I'm like, that's a little excessive. Like, what are you showing off, Because I think he was getting laps in, like getting his steps in. Because he wasn't going anywhere. He was just walking laps up and down.
Yeah.
So then later I get to my gate, right? Finally, it's time for us to get to the gate. So I get to the gate and I'm working on my computer. I'm like, let me just get this finished before I get on the plane. And I see a stick come by. And so I look up and it's a different blind guy. Oh, well, first I knew my blind guy was already there because I saw him and his stick missed. He like hits the people, but the lady's backpack was in the way. Then he ran straight into the lady's backpack. And I was like, oh man, the stick missed it, right? Like that happens. So I already knew he was there. So when I saw the other stick, I like look up and I'm like, another blind guy. What are the chances? 2 blind guys in the airport. So now I'm curious, right? And I'm watching this new blind guy walk past. He walks up to the other blind guy, and their sticks miss.
Get your straws. Get
Yeah.
your straws.
Get my straws.
This is how she explains it to us at the restaurant.
So that's where these are from. So they go up to each other, and you can see they're doing their sticks. Well, they miss their sticks, so they don't know each other's there, and they literally run chest bump into each other. Chest, boom. And now they're like, what the hell? So now they're sword fighting with their sticks, trying to figure out what's happening. Like, where did this person come from? And I am sitting there. I am not an adult. I am crying. Cannot get my shit together. Because they're just literally click, 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 like this. Click, 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 just hitting sticks like frantically, trying to figure out what happened. I am trying to keep it together.
Because he's like, there's no way there's another blind guy in the
Right,
airport.
what are the chances?
Into him.
Right, what are the chances? Like, and he already hit the backpack, so you know he was already a little frazzled. But I'm sitting at the chair, and I'm not that far from them. I'll post a picture, because I took a picture. I couldn't get it on video because I was not expecting them to ram each other on their chest. So, so I'm trying to keep it together, and I have like my head down, and I'm crying, and you know you're trying not to laugh because I know they can hear me, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because their hearing is like spidey sense. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
can.
Yeah, and so I'm laughing, and I jacked my neck because I was trying to hold it in, and I just pulled something in my neck because I was laughing so hard, trying to get it together. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like, I mean, like the whole like click 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 like them sword fighting. and then hold on. Hold on. My nose is running. Okay. What did the conversation go after? I didn't hear it because I was too busy trying to get my shit together and cry. But I mean, what's that conversation got to be like? What the hell? You didn't see me? What, are you blind? Like, yeah. What, are you making fun of me? Like, what, like, how did that conversation go?
Yeah, I'm blind. What's it to you, ass?
You making fun of
Oh
me?
yeah, now you can pick on me for being
Oh,
blind.
you
What's
making
that?
fun of me? What are you saying? I'm a blind man. Like, how did that conversation go? Crying. So then I finally pulled myself together, and I text my family, like, you'll never believe what just happened. And Ted calls me, and I just pulled myself together. So Ted calls me, and of course Ted gets me giggling again because he's laughing, and he's like, no way. And I'm like, I can't talk about it. They're right here. And so he gets me going, and I'm crying again. The guy next to me is looking at me like I've lost my damn mind. And so I tell the guy next to me what just happened, and he like, ha ha ha, and gets up and leaves like I'm an asshole. I don't like like I'm making fun of blind guys. I'm like, oh no, it was funny. Like, you should have seen it. Anyway, there was 3 blind guys.
That's
3.
so crazy.
I know, and they didn't look like they knew. Obviously, they didn't know each other. Those 2 guys got a little closer, but like I thought maybe they were traveling together, and they didn't act like they knew each other, like they didn't talk to each other or anything. It was crazy.
Gosh.
Funniest
That
thing
is
ever.
the funniest story ever. I mean, when you were telling us at the restaurant, I was crying hysterically, like couldn't get it together. We're at the restaurant, like
Oh.
the straws was the best.
Well, because you got to get like a really good like visual, because they have these big long sticks, you know. But I mean,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how that would, like, how would you respond
What is
to
going
that?
through their mind?
Yeah, when they full chest, like, made the noise, hit each other. I was like, this is a gift, and I have to take a picture because nobody will believe me, like, that this happened. So I snapped the picture. I was like, hell yeah, got it. But yeah, so that was my airport. Oh, well then, okay, then it gets this also happens. So I'm flying Frontier, and I get on the plane, and I'm in row 22 because I forgot to check in. So I'm like in the back of the plane, and I sit, and I'm in the middle again, of course. Well, the guy next to me is in his full pilot suit, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing back here? Like,
What are you
it's
doing
weird.
in Gen Pop?
Yeah, like, Like,
Why are you all in Gen Pop all dressed up?
don't you have a reserve seat like up in the front of a plane? Like, and so he's like, oh, I was supposed to fly the 10 o'clock flight, but I don't know. I was still kind of shocked that he was sitting next to me. I was like, wait, what? And why are you here? And he's like, well, the time changed and it was too much time, so they had to switch crews, and he's just catching a ride back. And I'm like, okay, this guy had no personality at all. Zero. Like a log. And really hard to hear because he was just mumbling like this under his breath. And I'm like, dude, I can't hear you. Like, I'm sitting this close to him. I mean, I could, like, feel his breath if I turned to him. And he was mumbling so bad. Well, this plane was so loud, like a party. And when we were waiting, there was a lot of kids, so you could see people were like, "Oh man, these kids are going to be like ridiculous on this, and they're going to cry and stuff." No, dude, they were perfect. The kids were perfect. The adults acted like we were at a barbecue, and they were drinking a lot of alcohol. I mean, there were hands up in the air. There were woohoos. Yeah. There was like that Emma at first didn't take the trash out, and the pilot just looks at me, and I'm like, "Yeah, you're not used to riding back here, are you?" Like, yeah, welcome to Gen Pop. You're back in the back of the plane now, baby. This is what the back of the plane is like. But I mean, it was a super fun trip. I mean, everybody was having a blast. Like people, and they weren't they weren't all together. They were all different families and stuff. But everybody was talking to everybody. I was stuck between these two guys. I'm like, this sucks because I would like to get there visiting, but his face
so
was
then
like,
what happens, though?
Oh yeah. So we take off. I'm like, oh okay, and I talk to him. Well, we take off, and the plane hits like turbulence right away, and the plane's going like this. You know, and with all the plane stuff, yeah, I mean, with all the plane stuff recently, you know, you're kind of a little nervous.
Oh yeah,
dude, pilot does the Trinity. He's like, mother, and he starts praying. I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, is there something I should know? Are we not supposed to do that? Like, is the plane not supposed to do that? Should I be calling someone? Like, what? Where's the exits? Where are the exits at? Shit, I knew I should have paid attention. Like, where are they at? Where my floating devices? Where's my floating device? Like, what? So that started it, and I'm not a nervous flyer, but when the pilot next to you starts doing the Trinity, you're like, maybe I should be concerned. But yeah, it was crazy. But I finally made it, and finally made it to Florida. So.
So one of the nights, we're sitting there and we're watching American Idol. Because we just all wanted to watch it. It's the new season and Carrie Underwood's on it. So we're all sitting there watching it. Well, all the songs that came on, I'm singing along with them. Because I have this like weird talent where I can remember lyrics to songs from years ago. I can't tell you who sung them, what the name of the song is. Cannot. But I can sing the words. Like, I just remember them. It's weird. Like, I hear a beat, I know the song. Well, I'm sitting there, and Nicole goes, well, this is quite an interesting experience. I didn't know she sang through every song.
Literally sang all the songs. Like she was trying out for American Idol. I'm like, okay, I guess we're singing everything.
I said, don't worry, I'll call you next week when it's on and sing to you the whole show.
They're like, it was super weird. But, oh, I know what we did too. So when we were at that vintage fair, they had like a photo places set up like around the place. And so we made Shannon take pictures with us.
Oh, yeah.
like the JCPenney's pictures. Where we're all like on each other like that, stacked. Yeah. And she's laughing. She's like, why do you make me do these things? And it wasn't like we were by ourselves. There were people all over. And then we did them at the entrance. And there was probably 50 people at the entrance watching us.
Yeah, they're just sitting there laughing, smiling at us, taking pictures, sitting on each other's laps, putting our legs up, doing three. Stacked our heads.
You know they wanted to do it, but nobody's brave enough to do it.
Uh-huh.
But
I don't know why. Why are people so uptight? Just go have fun. Like, who cares? Well, you're never going to see those people again.
mm-mm.
And if you do, then you got a funny story for the next time. Like,
Right.
why are
Yeah.
people so scared? We
I
do
don't know.
stupid shit all the time out
Yeah.
in
I mean, I
public.
do. Yeah.
We look like complete idiots all the time. And everybody just laughs at us. Like, who cares? Hey, listen, we just gave them something to talk about for the next 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Like when they picked me up from the airport. So I was stressing because I needed to get my hair done so that nobody confused me with Judy. Because I think the only difference between Judy and I is her hair is gray and mine's dark. And so I needed to get my roots done bad. So I had an appointment the night before. My girl's great. She got me in like late, like a late appointment. I was at her house till like 9:30. And um, anyway, so she did my hair. But I was like, hey, I have to travel tomorrow. So can you be really careful about getting it on my face? Because, the dye just like gets on your skin. And it usually washes off no problem. But I was leaving the next day. So I was like, I can't scrub it. And you have to leave it in so it stays. Well, kind of backfired on me because I look like Eddie Munster. Because I had a perfect, like perfect hairline, like a Mickey Mouse or like my widow's peak. It was just perfect because it dyed my scalp. Because she put Vaseline like on my face so it wouldn't get on my face, but then it was like perfect. It looks so ridiculous, and so I told my, which was a big mistake. I told my mom, my aunt, my sister. I'm like, hey, look, my hairline's gonna look crazy. Like I'm gonna look like Eddie Munster. Oh, and I shaved my face before I went. I should say I exfoliated my face with a razor. But I did. So I did one of
It's
those little
microbleeding. I microbleeded my face.
microderm. It's microderming. So I did it,
Is it?
and I had and I cut here, and I cut here, I cut here, and then I had a big old gash on the side of my face, and so I looked like I had gone on a date with Edward Scissorhands. So I was like,
So
it
I
was
was
like
calling
a
her
date.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, she was called me Eddie. And so when I get to the airport, they have a big sign that says Eddie, and it's got like a widow's peak on it and scissors and stuff. So they're like hanging out the window with this big sign. I'm like, y'all are nerds.
That was so funny.
It is so funny. But yeah, it finally went away. But yeah, it was like that for like.
He's like, I didn't know I had such a widow's peak.
It was so pronounced. I mean, it was like just like somebody took a black marker and just drew a line all the way around my face. It was crazy.
That was so funny. Oh, and then another thing that happened, Mom and I went to, well, we went to the Rain Gardens a couple weeks ago, which I talked about on here. Well, then we were telling Aunt Susan about it and how beautiful it was, and how we helped that lady find her way out. And Aunt Susan's like, "Wow, how many acres is it?" And Mom's like, "Like two, probably two." And I'm like, "Mom, two? Really?" I was like, "We walked more than 2 acres. What are you talking about?" And she's like, "I don't know. It felt like 2 acres." So I'm like, let me Google this. So we look it up. I was like, Mom, it's 152 acres. She's like, we only walked like 2 acres. I'm like, no way. It was so funny.
So Mom has the boys, so she took them for spring break. So she took Carly's boys for spring break. And did we talk about this already when last time she had him? She took him on the hike?
Yes.
So
before they left, I said, okay, y'all are getting bigger. We're not climbing 40 feet in the tree because now you're heavier. You're going to be breaking them branches. So do not climb high in those trees. And they both I was like, do y'all have your pocket knives? Because they love pocket knives. Plus, I'd like them to have them playing out in the woods and stuff.
Yeah, because there's bears.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of bears. And,
I don't know if that
like,
a pocket knife is going to actually protect them against a bear, but it's fine. I mean, we're going to go with that.
Okay? It makes me feel a little bit better.
Hi.
They'll shake them. So I'm like, do y'all have them? Well, my middle child is notorious for cutting himself. Like, every time he plays with a knife or does something with a knife, he cuts himself. I don't know how. Anyway, so I'm threatening my kids as they're leaving. I'm like, listen, y'all cut yourself. You be stupid with them knives. you're getting grounded for a week. I'm like, you're grounded for a week from your phone, you're grounded for a week from Xbox. Like, you better not cut yourself. And no trees. So
Well,
yeah,
that's because,
there are
so, I mean, just as a reminder, he climbed a pine tree. He was in full camo, so he's like, Grandma, you can't find me. She's like, Maddox, no, really, Maddox, like, I can't see you. Where are you? And he was at the top of a 40-foot pine tree, the tippy top. And he's like, I'm the greatest tree climber in the world. And he's just swaying up there. And and no one's at the
with
bottom.
rain boots on. Like he
Yeah.
had rain boots on.
And Mom's at the bottom, and Nolan's got his airsoft gun shooting him, trying to get him to come down. And
Well,
Maddox
no,
is spitting on Nolan.
he got his airsoft gun to go shoot him, but Mom walked out before he could shoot him because Maddox was spitting down to Nolan. He was trying to spit on him, so he was like, "Oh hell no!" And he went and got
Your
his
ass is
airsoft
coming out
gun.
of this street. Like,
Luckily, Mom came out on time.
oh. But, I mean,
But
it
yeah,
was
no.
high up in that tree. Hot.
Yeah. So I threatened them this time, like, y'all get hurt. Like, I literally said that. I said, if you guys get hurt, you're going to be grounded for a week.
It's your ass. If you break something, it's your ass. I'm going to break the other thing.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. I was like, maybe it would give them, like, incentive to think about shit before they do it. Like, climbing 40 feet in a tree. We'll see.
But he's the best tree climber in the world. He tells us all the time.
Yeah, well, I looked out back the other day, and one of my tree limbs is completely broken off. And it was a thick one. It was a pretty good sized tree limb. And it was broken. I'm like, oh, great.
Like,
So
oh.
they are bigger. They're heavier now. So hopefully they don't climb too high because I'm like coaching them as they're leaving, driving away. I'm like, 2 hands on the branches all the time. It's like, keep hand on all the time.
And you're telling Mom, do not let them hike alone.
Yes, I did. I had to tell her, like, Mom, please do not let them hike alone. I don't want them
I
going
don't,
up the
like,
stream
why does she make choices like that? Like, we're like,
on your mountain.
what are you thinking? She's like, it's safe.
Yeah.
It's safe. We're like, no, it's actually the most not safe place. Like, there's a like a cliff into a giant waterfall and goes down a mountain. There's like 800 steps. That's how tall it is.
Yeah.
You're letting these boys go by themselves. And then when she got down there, the path that she told her to take was closed off. So she's panicking. And now she can't reach it because there's no service. So she's like rushing through the woods trying to find them.
Hopefully Maddox will come home cutting his own hair this time, too.
Oh, yeah, he did cut his hair.
Cut his hair. So, yeah, we'll see.
Adventures at Grandma's house.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure we'll get many stories, but yeah.
Well,
So,
mom's coming
okay.
here next week. The week after.
26th or something like that.
Yeah. So she's coming here and she's staying for 3 weeks. But then we realized we're like, she's going home right before Easter. I'm like, that's so dumb. Why don't you just stay for Easter? You know, like that's
Yeah.
so dumb. And so she said, well, I'll call Pop and see if we can adjust the flights. And she's like, but I don't want to overstay my welcome. I'm like, no, we're past that. 3 weeks, we're past that. Like another 2 days.
What's one more week?
Like, no, we're past that. It's fine. You're fine. But it's funny because when she goes to your house, she's so useful. Like she does the dishes and cooks dinner and does laundry and like takes the boys to school and does all this stuff. Well, at our house, there's like very little for her to do, you know, because we don't have a lot of stuff going on. Like she does laundry, we're like, thanks. Like it's like a load of laundry. So, but she is my assistant when she comes. So every time I'm there, I'm like, Mom, write this. Mom, text this. Mom, we're going to do here. Mom, we're going to be at open house. Mom, we're going to go stage. Mom, we're going to go pick up furniture. Like I'm always like doing. I bet she'd probably rather be at your house doing lunches than
She
my
really
house.
is your assistant. That's so funny because she had to go to like the houses with you and stage.
Yeah. Yeah, I put her to work, but I pay her when she helps me stage. But then I have her like randomly help me with everything. So
I
it's so
pay
nice
her.
when
I
she's
just don't
here.
give her a paycheck.
Oh,
She
you
has
give her your
free
credit
range when
card.
She comes here. Huh?
Yeah, you give her a credit card. I don't give her my credit card.
Yeah, I know. It's
If
dangerous.
if the paper towel roll is 1/3 gone, she will buy all new paper towels. She's like, paper towels are gone. We need to get it at Publix. They buy one get one.
I am
You're
so like her though. Like I can't even pick on her for that because I totally take after her for that. Because like if we're getting low on something, I'm like, oh, better go get 2 more syrups. We're almost out. We're halfway.
and I'm not. I'm like, oh no, split that last paper towel. We're gonna go on Wednesday. I, I have Christmas napkins that I pulled out the other night for dinner. I was like, oh, maybe I should use these. No, we'll just use paper towels. Because I was like, I can't bring out Christmas napkins. My kids will never let me down.
Oh no, they won't.
So we had the kids over on Sunday for dinner. So Emily came down and Logan, Haley, and the baby came over, and Jonathan, and everybody was here. So it was really fun. We did like, so they went and played pickleball at the park. It was absolutely gorgeous. When I bought like these eggs for Blaze to color, and he loves coloring, so I got him markers and stuff. So cute. I bought 2 dozen eggs. He colored 2 of them. I was like, oh, I forgot what a 2-year-old is like. So I'm like, we have to slowly gonna have to color those by the time Easter comes. But they
Well, I
have
sent you some Easter decorations you can try.
oh, my Easter game is weak. I put Easter out this
I know,
week,
that's
and
why
I
I
was
sent them
like,
to you.
oh, I have 4 bunnies. Like, and they're this big. They're 4 little tiny bunnies. They're maybe 5 inches. And I'm like, oh, that's so weak.
Oh my gosh, I have to get my Easter out. I didn't even think about that. Crap, I've been so busy. When
I
mom's
know.
here, I'm so busy. Like I work, work, work. Like the only reason I ever need her to go home is so that I can rest.
No
'Cause,
kidding, because she gives you homework. She's like, you have
oh
laundry
yeah,
in your bed, and I put a pile of papers for you to go through. And
you
you're
do
like,
too.
I did too.
You put all our shoes out. You're like, I'm gonna need you to go through all these Crocs because we have an
You get to
absurd
pick
amount
2
of
of your
Crocs.
favorites. Okay, but I can't say anything because I, I told Jake, I said, I bought a new pair of shoes. And he goes, oh, and this we're in our bathroom, like in the closet. And he's like, oh, really glad you did that because you really needed them. And meanwhile, I have like a whole wall of shoes that go up to the ceiling.
You have the
And
most amount of shoes I've ever seen anybody own ever.
I like shoes.
You do.
I like them.
That's okay. You just do. This is explaining how many shoes you have.
I have a
That's
lot of
why
shoes.
why Jacob is saying this.
Yeah, I have a lot of shoes. And so he's like, I'm really glad you got more shoes. And I'm like, I can't wear those. And then he looks at me like, why do we have them? Like, why do you have them? And I'm like, well, maybe one day I'll be able to wear them again, when my ankle gets better. And he's like, okay. And so there's a pile of shoes on the ground. And he says, and you have to understand that Jake never like criticizes me, and he just doesn't. He's just so kind to me. And I mean, he'll make fun of the crap out of me, but he's just always so sweet. And so he'll
lets
never
you
say
be
like,
crazy.
yeah, like I'll have like shit all over. I mean, I'll have wood,
Painting.
paint, crafts, like everything everywhere. And then I'm like, oh, is this yours? Can you go put this away? Like it's like one little tiny thing. And he's like, really? Like all of this? And I'm like, yeah, it's crowding me. Like, can you put this away? He never ever complains. So I have, and like our closet was terrible. I would fall and grab onto the clothes that did not fit in between. They were hanging on the outside of clothes. And I would grab onto those to hold myself up as I was falling in my closet. I mean, it was bad. I'm confessing. So I did clean my closet. I got rid of a whole bunch of clothes, and I got rid of a whole bunch of shoes.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. I got rid of a whole
You did a
bag
good
of
job.
shoes. Yeah. See, I'm really proud of myself. But so I have like a little pile of shoes, and he says to me, so maybe as a suggestion, when you take your shoes off, maybe put them back where they belong so that the closet stays really nice. Like you did a good job, you want to keep it nice. And I'm like, oh, those shoes don't have a home. Like that's where they're going to have to go. And so he walks over to his side, which is like, he tries to keep it color coded. I put all the laundry back. I'm like, I'm not color coding this shit. Like you can do that on your own time. But it's all organized and stuff. And he says, well, why don't you get one of these? And it's a canvas shoe tote that hangs off the rack, where you slide your shoes in. He's like, why don't you get one of these? And I go, I have one of those. And he turns around and he looks. I have 3 of them. And he's like, you have 3 of them? He's like, you have a problem. you have a real problem. Like, fully aware, fully aware. But they're cute shoes. Like, they're
Yeah,
really
I mean,
cute.
you do have cute shoes. You just have a lot of them.
Well, and now they're high, so I mean, let's be real. I'm probably never gonna get into them again.
I know.
Like, they
Do
hurt
like people
before.
do on Facebook and like say closet clean out and start posting all your shoes.
I can't do it. I can't do it. They're so cute. I can't do it.
Let it go. Let it go.
I think you have the same problem with blankets.
Oh my gosh. Your
Yeah.
mother loves to bring me blankets, and I do. I love blankets. I love the real soft ones. Um, but yes, she brings blankets every time she comes down.
Yeah, we had to tell her no more
So,
blankets.
so I had a stack of blankets in my room. They almost went to the top of the window.
She's like, what blanket do you want to use? Like, which blanket do you want to use to sleep with? And I'm like, oh, that's a lot of blankets. I
Pick
can't
one.
even, I can't even talk. I have 6 lamps in this room behind me, and I probably have 10 out. I probably have
Yeah,
a
you do
total
have a
of
lot of
like 16 to maybe 15 lamps. No, because I have some in the attic too. Yeah, I definitely have a lot of lamps. I have a lot of
God,
lamps.
I might have a problem.
But we'll
You're
never be
becoming a
without
hoarder.
light.
You better quit.
So if you see me start posting lamps and shoes, mind your own business. Okay? Mind your own business. Because
She does stage, but
I do stage. So they are out at houses right now. And the ones that I have out here are getting ready to go to another house probably next week.
yeah.
But
So you do
yeah,
have a good excuse for all your lamps, but your shoes
no excuse.
probably
excuse.
should start selling some of them, giving them
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. So, well,
Well, very good. Well, I think that was fun. You got any more?
no, now I'm offended that you made fun of my shoes, so I'm leaving.
It hurts. It stings.
Well, it was fun. I really loved coming to Florida and visiting with you, and
I know,
I'm
that was
I'm
so fun.
I'm peeling now, so you
Oh
can't.
my gosh, you got so burnt.
I
All on the back of her, just on the back.
Yeah, I'm peeling on my shoulders, which is funny because that's not the place I needed sun. I was like, can I get some sun on my legs? Holy
The
mackerel!
back of your knees and the back your shoulders.
Yeah, it was funny, but I mean, it was such a random, like so random.
Yeah.
But I'll post pictures on our site so you can see our mural and my sticks, my 2 guys. I have to blur out their faces, I guess. Well, they're not gonna know.
That's so messed up. You're going. Are your feet hot? You couldn't. Did you see that? Oh, did you see that? Oh my gosh, that is the funniest story ever.
I know, it's the best. It's the best.
Like it literally sounds made up. Like, cause when does that shit happen?
I really just wish I was there to hear them talk about it.
I don't know. I wish you got up and went over.
I wasn't trying to get hit with a stick. Like, they're for real. Like,
What the hell's that? What the hell's that?
they were so freaked out. Like, how did I miss that? Like, how did I totally miss with the sticks? Like, they totally missed. It just bam, right into each other.
That story's never gonna get old. Oh God, I'm crying again.
Oh, I know. It's terrible. It's terrible.
All
All right, sister. I'll see you next week. We'll be back on a regular schedule next week. And then
Hopefully.
mom will be here. Maybe we can have her come back on when she's here.
Oh yeah.
That'd be fun.
Wait. I think she comes in on a Tuesday. Are we
She's
gonna
gonna
do
be here
Monday?
for 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be a
Yes,
couple
maybe.
Mondays.
So like next week it's just gonna be you and I, and then the next week.
Oh my gosh. You know what's coming up? April
Huh.
Fool's Day. My favorite day.
Oh,
And we are going to have
yeah.
the best. I think it falls. Does April Fool's fall on a Monday? Let me check. Oh, it's a Tuesday. Damn. Maybe
might
we
have to
do.
do it on
We
a
may have to
Tuesday.
do it on Tuesday. That's like the
Yeah.
best day ever, and the best. We have the best April Fool's stories you've ever heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. But shoot, we don't want to give them all away on this April Fool's, because then what are we gonna do next April Fool's? I'm gonna have to step on my game. That
Well,
makes you
make sure you
nervous.
make some new ones this year. Not with me. Somebody else. I'm done.
All right.
I'm done with your April Fools.
Okay, so that's in 2 weeks. So yeah, we definitely have to plan that, because that is so much fun. You're gonna not want to miss April Fool's Day. So,
Yeah.
all right, love you.